Let's walk through Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. I started with this little intro, but we'll back up and take that part later. So here's where we start, the melody. Take it nice and easy. Let's just take this part. So the first thing that I do is try to get this feel going. So that's how I would do it if I was accompanying it. So that first beat, kind of make it nice and big chord, and I relax my hand, kind of just roll off a little bit. And then the second one's a short chord, and it's a little choir jump. So we got hip, chop. That's the kind of feel we want to have. And I might change the phrasing a little bit, so if I'm playing it not exactly the way I have it on the sheet music, it's a little bit flexible on exactly where you put the phrases. But the important thing is keeping that feel going, even with the triplets. So you've got 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 5. So nice and even, all 3 beats evenly spaced in that one beat. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So that all 3 go in that beat 3. So here we go. We start with that G, and I'm tuned down, by the way. So tuned down to a drop D. So that's why my G is over there on the 5th fret. So that just rolls right down. 1, 2, 3. Then a lot of the notes that are listed as 8th notes, they have a little bit of a swing to it, so it's almost like you're doing it as a triplet, where the first note is 2 notes of the triplet. 1, 2, 3. So you can think of it 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So a little bit swung, and then some of them are really even. So we'll specify the really even ones when we get to those. But here, we'll swing these just a little bit. So that's the second phrase. Your melody is on that G to the A, and then make sure to play that A with your index finger, because you're going to be going into that D chord there. All right, let me tell you exactly what measure that is. Okay. That's okay, that's the second full measure of the tune after the introduction. So we've got the 2 measures, the introduction. Measure 3 starts the tune. At the very end of measure 4 is that A with the index finger, and then a light chord and that D chord. So you're holding that. So I don't list where all of the notes hold over. It just makes the music look a little bit complicated when you do that. So a lot of the notes that aren't listed as being held over, they really should be ringing. G, another triplet. So there's a lot of these D7th suspended into D7th. So you've got the suspended there on the 5th fret there, 4th string, and then it resolves into the D7th. Okay, so that brings us now, and sometimes I just play a part of that chord, and sometimes I'll fill it in. I think of it as the same chord in either case. And then Now we come to a kind of an interesting part, the G, and sometimes instead of just playing those two notes, I'll double it by adding an extra D. So I've got this D with the pinky and the open D. It just gives it a little bigger sound. You have both those ringing over. It also walks up more specifically, so you've got this moving voice in the bass here to the D sharp. And if you think of it as a chord, it's kind of a weird chord. It's really you don't really think of it as a chord. It's a moving voice in the bass, and it's a melody against it. There's that moving voice. So you can see how that the melody just rolls up there. I slide up with the pinky, fall down into the A minor 7th chord. Pinky walks down the 2nd string, and then another, this time full big D7 suspended into D7 G. And so now I've got a G chord, but I'm keeping the D in the bass because I'm walking into that D sharp again. This time I'm going to do it into a D sharp augmented chord. Yeah, beautiful chord right there. So I'm walking that. And this is one place where you've got that another triplet into an 8th notes. Okay, then we go back into that again. Just the way you did it before. Okay, that's plenty for one lesson, and we'll get the next part next time.